dear friends, welcome back again. We are so happy you popped over again to see what we are up to today. Of course, for everyone who is new here, welcome. We are Janny and Dyanne, and we hope you enjoy what you see. And if you do, of course, we hope you take a little bit of inspiration with you. For everyone who is here and is not subscribed to our channel, we hope you will click the red subscribe button, give it a thumbs up, and tick the bell so you will be notified every time we upload new DIYs. Like we always say, enough talking, let's jump in today's inspiration. And you see already on the table are the things we need, like we always start in every DIY. Of course, the tumbling tile blocks. I have here some lighter color paint. I have some yellow and I have some red, but the red one we will mix because we need pink. And I don't have pink on hand, so I'm going to mix it. Of course, I have here my little container with my markers, scissors, brushes, some Mod Podge, some twine, everything I need, and of course my wood glue. I use the brand Pattex. Of course, you see it backwards, but it is the brand Pattex. I think you already know this label. I think it's you can sell it in any country. So I use this one, but of course you are so free to use anything you like. The only thing I be a little bit careful with your hot glue, because hot glue sometimes your DIY is breaking. So be careful with that. I don't recommend it. I used it a lot when I started my channels, of course, but now I am so happy to use the wood glue. And of course, now you all want to know what we're going to make. We are going to make for today a little different. Normally we do some home decor. This is also home decor, but a little bit more for your children, grandchildren, or maybe you even are a fan. But we are going to make SpongeBob and Patrick. Of course, you already saw it on the thumbnail, so we are going to make both of them. We will see how they will turn out. And of course, before I did forget to tell you, you also need an old saucer and of course a little old piece of kitchen towel or something. You can wipe away the glue. This is wet because it's easier to wipe away the wood glue. We are going to start with 6 blocks. And we have already 5, 6. We're going to start with the base of both of them, of SpongeBob and of course of Patrick. So a little on the side, on the longer one, and of course place the blocks immediately against each other, and number 5 and number 6, and squeeze it together. We're going to make another row of 6. We're going to do the same way on the longer side. This is already number 2, 3, 4 and number 5, and 6 is the close you up again. So we are almost there. We make another one of 6, 5, and you already have again 6 blocks. And this one is so easy to make, but we are going to double it up, of course, because SpongeBob is a little bit bigger and thicker. Oh, you see, I thought I was already there, but I wasn't. This is already number 6 again. Squeeze it. We're going to place this one aside. Of course, feel every time with your fingers if you have a nice straight line, because that's really important. And this is already the last of 6 blocks, at least for this row. And we're going to do the sides again, and number 4 and number 5. And then we already have the first layer of our SpongeBob. We're going to squeeze it. We're going to give it a couple of minutes. So I waited a couple of minutes. We're going to place it on the side. We're going to do some glue on the tops, because if we do it within a couple of minutes, we still can redo it and we don't get too much open gaps, because that's not a great side and it doesn't work very nice if you want to paint it later. So if you do it within a couple of minutes, and it doesn't matter if your blocks are falling apart, because you still can redo it, just squeeze it, and you see already the lines are going to each other. So just feel with your fingers and make one big piece out of it. So we have here one piece of our SpongeBob, but of course we're going to do this 3 times. So this one is 4 times 6 blocks, and now we're going to do this 3 times. see already, I did a little bit faster. Of course, our 3 pieces, what we're going to do, we do some glue from this side over here and maybe on the last blocks also, and we're going to place this one on top. We're going to do here the same over here, just do some glue and on the ending on this block, and we're going to place the last one on top until one big piece. So we're going to place it this way, give it some pressure until one big block. You see already, this is how he's looking like. This is already the base of SpongeBob. So at least at least this is what it's supposed to be, SpongeBob in a moment. But we hope that it will turn out nice. So again, we're going to make it flat so everything looks nicely. So I'm going to place this aside, and now we're going to make the base of Patrick. And of course, for the base of Patrick, we are going to get 8 blocks. 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, like this. We do the same. We're going to do the sides, and of course I'm going to do Patrick the cheapest way I can do. I mean by that I'm going to do the blocks a little bit different, so it doesn't take too much of your blocks, because or else it will be very expensive, and that's not what we're going for. We're always going for a nice look, but on a budget, at least as budget as we can do. So we have already 1 of 8. We have already, and again another 1 of 8. We do the same, just glue them in the length, and this is a little bigger as of course SpongeBob, because SpongeBob is a little smaller and the size is also smaller, and Patrick is a bigger because he is a star. He's a starfish, if I'm correctly, if I hope I say it right in English. So I'm going to do 5, 6, 7 and 8, and this is almost the last for 1 layer of our Patrick, and this is number 6, 7 and 8 is the closure up. And again, and for everyone who doesn't like to see that I'm counting, of course, skip forward. Of course, I hope you don't, but I understand if you do, because not everyone enjoys that. But for everyone who wants to know how it is really made, 5, 6, 7 and 8. And this is the last of the front for at least the middle part of Patrick, because there will be more. But I show you 1 layer in totally, and then you can do the other 2 layers, because Patrick is also 3 layers, the same like SpongeBob. And again, squeeze them, and we're going to give this one also a couple of minutes drying. So we have here our 4 pieces of 8. Now we're going to get 2 pieces of 3 and 1 piece of 4, like this. So we're going to glue also this together. So 1 of 4 and the 2 of 3, and this is a number, and I forgot that this is only one side, so I need again 2 pieces of 3 extra. This is 1 and a number 2. So now we are really there, because Patrick has 2 sizes, of 2 sizes, 2 sides, I mean not sizes, sides. And this is again, so you have 4 pieces of 8 and you have 4 pieces of 3 and you have 1 piece of 4. So if you have this on your table, then you are totally fine with the numbers. So I'm going to give this also a couple of minutes. So we're going to start with the 4 pieces of 8. So we're going to do them on the side. We're going to give them some glue on the tops. Oh, you see already he is not really want to stand up, and you see already 1 is coming off, but it doesn't matter, don't worry, you easily can place them together again, so don't worry about that. We're just going to place this one against each other. We're going to place this one down, and we're going to place this one together, and this one. And you see already this block is broken. That's what my problem is with this one. You see already he is not want to do what I want to do. So we're going to turn it over and we're going to give it this way. And now we hope it will fit together nicely. We're going to squeeze it and we're going to place all of them together in one row. You see already this is also DIY. Not everything is going perfectly all the time, so don't let it discourage you. If it does break, don't worry about it. So we're going to give this a couple of minutes rest. So we gave this a couple of minutes. We're going to turn it, place it this way. We're going to do the 2 of 3. We're going to do some glue on the top of 1 of 3. We're going to place them together, and we do here the same, and we place this one together, so we get one nice piece, and this one the same. Squeeze it, and we're going to do with the 1 of 4. We are going to glue in the middle over here and on the top. So very easy. Squeeze it, and we already have the top, so it takes at least 4 blocks less than you normally would make if you do 1 row. So this is already 1. We're going to place this very carefully on the side, and we do some glue over here, and we're going to place this one a little lower. I think maybe I do it maybe on the, no, I do it here exactly in the middle of this 4, because you see already I also didn't make it already, so for me it's also looking where I want to have it. So again, place it over here in the middle, and this way squeeze it, so we make one big plank out of it, and we're going to do this 3 times. So you need 4 times 8, and you need 4 times 6, and 4 on top, and this is 1 layer, and then you double it up until 3 layers in totally, the same like we did with the SpongeBob. And you see here we have the base again from Patrick, and I placed the sides, the blocks of 3, I placed a little higher. I show it you a little bit better like this. You see I placed them a little bit up because he was really too low if I want to make the shape of the starfish, so I did it a little bit higher. So now I'm going to build it in with my block. So I have here again another piece of 4 times 8, and I'm going to do this one on top of here. And this way I hope I can redo it better than I normally would do if I place all of them together. So I'm going to place this up and give it a little bit of pressure. I'm going to do here the same over here and again on the sides. We're going to place the other piece on top over here and give it again some pressure. Make sure that we have a straight line everywhere where we can feel the straight line. And now we're going to fill it in. You also have now 4 pieces of 3 extra because they need to go over here. So we do some glue over here, and of course on one side. I'm going to turn it over, place it over here. This is already 1. We do here the same over here, and on the side we place it this way on top of each other. We do here the same. Of course I can do it this way. I would do it very difficult, but of course you can do it any way you like. So again, do some glue over here, and I do some glue on the side. And I'm going to place it in again. Also again, squeeze it and make sure that you have a straight line again. Of course, the sides you probably don't see again because we are going to cut out the starfish shape. So don't worry about it. It will be okay. Now you also have 2 pieces of 4 extra. So we do some glue over here, and we do here on the side, top side, and we're going to place it in. We do here the same, some glue over here and on the top side, and we're going to turn this one around and this way. And again, make sure that you have a nice straight line again. Feel with your fingers. And then we're going to let this dry in. It looks very strange, but I hope at the end it will look okay. So we're going to give this a couple of hours at least. And also the shape of this one of SpongeBob, of course, we're going to give it a couple of hours rest before we're going to get our jigsaw, our hand saw, and figure saw, and we're going to saw it out. So you see already, now we have our two shapes, and this one is so easy. What I'm going to do, I'm going to get my pencil and I'm going to try to make a starfish out of this one. It's very easy, of course. You go a little bit over here, the point over here, he has to make his hands, and then you go over here and make, this one is easy in the middle. You just take this as a middle, go over here and make 1 feet. You go over here and make 1 feet. Then you go over here and make 1 hand, and here the same. And this one will be a little bit bigger point. So I'm going to try. I'm really a bad person who can draw, so don't mind me. I hope you can do it perfectly. I am not perfectly in drawing, but I do my best. So in a moment you see what I come up with. And here you see, this is the best I can do. Of course, later you don't see the eyes anymore because everything will be painted, but this is how it's supposed to be. And you see already, if you look correctly, I took here the middle, just go over here, make a little line over here and a little the same over here, and just use the blocks for the 4 blocks and try to use as much as the blocks as you can do. So it's very, I showed you, maybe you can see, even count the blocks where I made the line. So I showed a little bit longer for if you want to see it a little bit better. And of course you can freeze the frame, so if you want to do it, but maybe you are a great drawer, so you can do it easily out of hand. So, but of course, for everyone who is just like me, just an amateur in drawing. So I'm going to get to the garage, and I'm going to get my jigsaw, and I'm going to saw out the lines around it. You see, here is how they turned out. This is Patrick, and of course this is SpongeBob. And the only thing I did with SpongeBob is just with my sander. It's a sanding tool, so metal sanding tool, a round one, and you can just the same like you sand with paper. It's some sanding tool with from metal, and I just go over it to make little carves, carves I think, inside of your wood. And I did it only from the middle of the blocks on here, 1 here, and 2, 3 over here, and here 3. So very easy, but you can make them bigger and smaller as long as you like. But I go for a little lightening, not too much. So he has just a little bit of glowing on the side. Here in the Netherlands we call it golven. So a little golf on the side, but of course you say it in English. What I'm going to do, because Patrick of SpongeBob needs some feet, so we are going to place this aside. We are going to get 3 blocks. Very easy. What we're going to do, we're going to do 3 blocks on top of each other. This is one. You place this one on top, do some glue, and this one. You do here one. You place this one on the top, also over here, and place this one. And the last one over here, place it on top, and this one. Now you have 3 pieces of 3. Squeeze them together until one piece, also over here. Squeeze them together and make sure that you have a straight line, and this one also, and we give this a couple of minutes drying. So 3 pieces of 3, and then you already have the feet of SpongeBob. So in the meantime, while our 3 blocks are drying, I'm going to mix some pink color, because I have a little bit of my thicker chalk paint, because this one is really thick and I like that, and this paint is a little thinner, and of course it is red. So I mixed both of them together so I get a little bit of a thicker piece, because we want to have that it covers in one. So that's why I do it in a little how you call it, a little yeah, we call it in here a little kom. I don't know how you call it in English, but at least this is an old one. I always mix pieces inside of here. So I'm going to do the Patrick, and of course I'm going to do it until halfway, a little bit over here, and the rest will be pink, but for the front side, back side, but only until here. So, but you see that in a moment. So I'm going to cover everything in the pink color. So I'm going to make a line over here until where I want to have my pink color. And you see already, he is already changing, and I'm really loving this color. So I'm going to finish the rest, and then you see until how far I did it. And you see, this is how Patrick is turned out, at least the top side. And you see already I did it over the half of the middle piece of the blocks. So I'm going to let this dry. We are going to do SpongeBob. And of course we are going to do SpongeBob until also a little over the half in yellow, the yellow top. Later we do a little lighter dots on top of here, but I'm going to get a little of my my chalk paint, the thicker one, and I'm going to do some yellow inside. And you see already I didn't use this one, so I was not prepared, sorry. I hope this one is already off, and I'm going to do a little bit of yellow inside, and then I'm going to mix it until I have the yellow I like, because I don't like the really bright yellow. So I'm going to do a little bit of yellow inside. I'm going to mix it, and then we're going to make this in the yellow color. Of course, SpongeBob and Patrick are drying. We have our 3 pieces of 3. One of them we're going to do exactly with our saw in half. So we get half pieces. So I'm going to go to my garage and I'm going to saw them in half. And you see I have here the 2 blocks of 3, but I had 3 of them also high, but it was much too high. So I did cut them in half, but I broke one of the blocks off. So you need 2 pieces of 3 and 1 piece of 2, and the 2 piece you are going to saw in half, because or else the shoe will be much too big. So I'm going to do some glue on this one. That's always the greatest thing. If I make it already for you, you don't have to see if it will work or not. So we are going to glue this one on over here, and we're going to do this one on the other side, and we're going to let this dry in also. So we give it a couple of hours drying before we're going to paint this one. And you see, of course, the top of Patrick is drying. Is dried. What we're going to do, because he also needs a little piece of his feet, needs to be also in the pink color. So now we're going to turn him around, and we're going to do a little piece of the feet also in the pink color. So we are sure that when we do his swim trousers, we call it zwembroek. In the Netherlands we call it zwembroek. I think you call it swim shorts, if I am correctly, but we're going to do this one also a little bit halfway like this, and later we go over it with the color of the swim shorts. I will keep it this in this swim short. I have to remember this. Of course I will do this, and of course then we do the next step. So this is how the top of the underside of Patrick is turned out. We're going to layer the side over here so it can dry. Now we're going to do the next step with SpongeBob. First I'm going to paint a big piece of the feet in the white color for both of them. So I use my white chalk paint, and you see already, if you look carefully, he is much thinner than the other one I normally use. But that is a little bit of the creamy color. This is really white. So I'm going to do a white color over it because the socks will be in the white. So I do it a little bit lower. Later we go over it with our black schoolboard paint. So very easy, just on the outside also. And on this side, and I use a brush which is a little bit cut off sideways, and you work a little bit neater with this one. Normally I use my red ones, but of course now I'm going to use this one. I'm going to do some white over here, of course the front, and I'm going to let this dry also. So very carefully make sure that you have nice straight lines like this. And we're going to let this dry. I'm going to do the second one, and then we're going to do a layer of white on SpongeBob. And I told you I'm going to make a white small piece of, that will be his blouse. And of course I'm going to use my painter's tape because I don't want that it is crooked. So I'm going to very carefully lay it down, do one piece. We're going to place over here so I'm sure that I have it in a straight line, and this way. And so I go around, and so I have everything, and I'm going to place one over here. You see it in a moment. So this is what I did. You see, and now I'm going to paint within these two pieces of tape. So very easy. I'm just going to get my green, and I'm going to go over it and make it in a nice white color this way. So I gave it a couple of minutes, so I'm going to try to remove the tape, and I hope that nothing is run under it. So we will see. This is already one, and he's already on he's already stuck on me, and I'm going to look for where I have the start of the second one, and I'm going to go over here, and I'm going to go, and I hope that nothing is on the front side. And you see, this is already the first line we made, and he did it really nice, so I'm really happy with this one. So now I'm going to take my black schoolboard paint, and I'm going to paint the underside of the feet in the black color. And I use again my brush with, you see already he's a little diagonal if I am correctly. So, and I'm going to give it a little of the black color, and of course also the top of the feet, so it will be looking like shoes. So I will finish this off, and you see this is how the feet turned out. I'm going to let them dry. It was a little bit tricky because you have to go with black over the white, so I'm really happy how they turned out. Just take your time for it. That's the only thing which is the best. Just take your time for it, and if it black is coming on the white, just paint it over again, and don't let it discourage, because I have it so many times. What I'm going to do, I'm going to get my SpongeBob, and I'm going to make again with tape a line over here, and then I'm going to make his pants. I'm going to do in the brown color. As you already, I'm laying it down. I'm going to get a piece of tape a little bit longer, and I'm going to go place it over the line of the white over here. And now I'm going to make sure, and then I'm going to go to the back side and over here on this side, so we are sure that everything has a little of the tape. And this way, and we're going to go for this one over here. Make sure that we are reaching each other, and this way. And now we're going to get our brown color, and I'm going to use a little bit of the darker brown color, but you can do also maybe some wax or something else, but I like the brown color. So very easy. I'm just get my brush, and you see I'm going to paint very easy this in the brown color, and then I'm going to let this dry. You see already SpongeBob is drying on the side. I'm going to get, of course, Patrick, and I'm going to get piece of tape, but I only do it on the front and the back side because the sides is very easy to paint. So I'm going to go like this, and I'm going to do only the top side, and I'm going to do it around the lines over here, the halfway, and I hope I have it. You can see it because this is the half of the 4 block we made. So I'm going to leave it over here, and this is, I think already, you see already it's too high. That doesn't work. So we have to go a little bit lower. Then I'm going to take the underside of the arms. I think that will be a little bit better. So I'm going to go for this. And of course I'm going to do this also on the back side, and then I'm going to mix a color in the green color. But of course you can give his swim shorts any color you like. So I'm going to go for this, a little piece on the back side. Of course, I'm going to turn it over, and we're going to do here the same. Because like I told you, my idea was just over here, and with the back side it does work, but on the front side it doesn't work. So over here, and I'm going to mix the yellow, because this is an old can of mine, so I can throw it away. So that's why I'm going to mix the light color, the yellow. See already inside I'm going to do a little bit of the green inside, not too much, but a little. And we're going to look for what color we are going to get. I have really no idea. I'm just going to mix it. Oh yes, I see already I get a little bit of the lighter green color. So I'm going to mix it a little bit better. And you see already what I totally forgot. We did not do his feet, because he still needs, of course, some feet. So we are going also a little under here. I think a little lower. I think we're going to go over here. This is already one. Oh, I have to be careful. You see already I still did had some green on my fingers. That's not what we want, or else Patrick is already green. With DIY you have to be so careful. So this one, and of course I'm going to do the back side, his feet also, and a little tape, and we're going to go a little under here, the same. So, and now I'm going to mix my green color. So I mixed it, and this is how it is turned out. It's a little bit like, we call it mint groen, a little bit of the lighter green. Of course, we're going to do some dots over here, and we're going to very carefully work our way around it. Of course, we can do it this way, but on the sides we have to use a smaller brush just to do the sides only. This is only for the front. And we go over here. And we go over it and over here. And you see his swim shorts will be in a nice lighter green color. So I'm going to do both sides, and then we're going to do only the sides, and then he has his swim trousers. So you see I gave it the green color, and now I'm going to remove the tapes. And I'm really happy how it turned out. And now of course we're going to let this dry. So in the meantime, while already Patrick is drying, we are going to take away the tape, of course, of our SpongeBob, of course, for his trousers. And now we hope we don't have some, you call it bleeding under it, I think. So I hope I don't. And we're going to turn it over. And you see, this is how he's turned out, and I'm really happy with the result. I'm going to let it dry a little bit more, because a little piece are not totally dry. So we are going to do the next step. So we have now SpongeBob his feet, and I have a gold marker to make some shoelace on his feet. So I'm going to do some little dots, and then I'm going to make little cross. So very easy, just make little dots over here, and I hope you can see it. I'm going to make 6 over here. I show it to you in a moment, don't worry. Over here and over here. You see, this is what I mean. I just made shoelaces, and I'm going to do here the same. We're just going to make some dots over here, and we're going to do again 6 pieces, and over here and on the ending, and over here, and we make a little cross. And we're going to do this one over here. And now we have 2 of the same, so we're going to let this dry. We are going to make his, I've got here in the Netherlands, we call it a stropdas. I think you call it a tie. Yeah, I think, and I know you call it a tie. So I'm going to get my red, and I'm going to make a little red tie over here. So the first, what I did is just make a little point over here, as you see. So I have at least the middle. I'm going to go and do this, and this one goes until this one, and this one goes to this one. So I have to be honest, this is really hard because like I told you, I'm not such a great painter. I did with black, I would make the tops of your blouse, but of course it didn't work. So I did it in the gold color. I have to work away this little piece of black because it needs to be white, but it has to dry. I made his tie in red. Of course, I have to give it a second layer of a red. What I'm going to do, I'm going to try to make the eyes and the nose and the mouth, but of course everyone makes them their own way. I'm going to do my best, and you see in a moment what I made of it, because of course you can also do it easy and just do some googly eyes on top of here, but I'm going to try to paint them myself, but we will see how this will turn out. Now I have the base for, of course, for SpongeBob. He needs some black dots inside, and of course I need to make the lines with my gold marker in the moment, but I did this still first needs to dry. I'm going to go further with, of course, Patrick, and he needs some dots on top of his swim shorts. That's what we're going to do first. So for his swim shorts, I'm going to use the same green color, but I'm going to do a little bit extra green with it because we're going to make them a little bit darker. So I do a little bit extra green, but choose any color you like, because not everyone likes the colors that I like. So just do whatever you think it's right and take the color you like. So I'm going to mix this, and then we're going to make very simple dots on top of here. So I use the back side of a pencil because he is round, and then I'm going to do it in some paint. And of course I'm just going to make little dots on top of here, and you can do them anywhere you like. So I'm going to go all the way around. And you see, this is how his swim shorts is looking like, but you can make him anyway. You can do some stars, maybe some little flowers on top of here. I'm going to let this dry, and then we're going to make his eyes also. But we are going to go further with the black rounding inside of the eyes of a SpongeBob. And this is how SpongeBob for me is turned out. Of course, now we're going to place his legs on top of here. So we're going to place it straight up. We're going to do some glue on top of here, and then we're going to glue them under his body, and then he can stand on his own. So you can place them anywhere you like. I'm going to go, I think, for not the, you have 6 blocks, and I'm going to one on here halfway, and halfway one here. So it's very easy, but you can choose any side which you want to place it. So I lay him down, and of course he is the same size. He is because all of them are 3 up. So very easy. Of course I should have done the lid off. We do some glue over here, and we're going to place it over here and this way. And we're going to do here the same. Do some glue on top. And we're going to place this one also between the second and the third. And of course, give it a little bit of pressure. Make sure that everything sticks nicely. Take your time for it, and then we're going to let this dry. And of course, Patrick needs only his mouth and eyes. And of course, I just draw them over from already the sketch I already had. So very simple. He has a little bit more wider eyes. SpongeBob has round eyes. And of course, this one is a little bit more like a longer shape. And of course, a simple mouth with some little hooks over here. So I'm going to get my black marker again, and I'm going to make this black. And I'm going to paint this white inside and with a little black dot. So it's very easy to make. You see already on my side, SpongeBob of Patrick is drying, but I was totally forgot to give the SpongeBob some arms. So I do it very easy. I just do 2 blocks on top of each other. Just glue them this way on top of each other, make them white. And of course, then you can glue them on the side of the frame of SpongeBob. You see that in a moment. But I was totally forgot his arms. I don't know why, but I really did forget them. So we can still glue them on. And you see already the arms are on the side, glued on the side. And of course I did a half block with the neutral look wood on top of here to look like a hand. But you don't have to do it. You can also use a bead or maybe something else. You can do it in the pink color. Do whatever you think is right. You can dress it up any way you like. And of course I have them on both sides. In a moment you see Patrick here, but SpongeBob here. In a moment you see the quick impression. And here you see a quick impression of my tumbling tile blocks, SpongeBob and Patrick. Of course, I have to say, it is not really my thing. This is so out of my comfort zone, making faces, but I can say, of course, maybe it is not perfect, but I made it myself. And that's always the greatest thing about DIY. You are making it yourself and you can make it your own. Of course, I hope you took out your tumbling tile blocks too and give this SpongeBob and Patrick a try, because it's so much fun to do, especially with your children or grandchildren. So give it a try. And everyone who is new here, I hope you enjoy what you saw. And if you do, I hope you will click the red subscribe button, give us a thumbs up and hit the bell so you will be notified every time we upload new DIYs. And for everyone who wants to see more DIYs, come on over to our description box. There you find the link for our DIY channels. And everyone who is only here to watch, I hope you had fun watching again. And everyone have an amazing day and we see you in the next one. Bye.